Alex Pereira dominated kickboxing. Starched Adesanya conquered 2 divisions in Glory and became the promotion's pound-for-pound king. Recently, he has burst into the UFC scene and made it all the way to the title shot in a blink of an eye. Today, we recall Pereira's career in a striking world as the Brazilian prepares for a crack at the premier championship belt in MMA. Here's a video on how the scariest UFC knockout machine is smoking records. Alex Pereira's early life. Alex was forced to drop out of school at the age of 12 and begin working in a tire shop after he was born in one of the slums that was located close to the large city of São Paulo. On a daily basis, he would get together with his co-workers to drink Brazilian rum, and over the course of time, this behavior evolved into a full-fledged addiction for him. In 2009, he started training in kickboxing in the hopes of kicking his addiction once and for all. Alex became hooked on kickboxing instantly and went on to have success at an amateur. Additionally, the tendency to end fights in spectacular fashions granted him the nickname Potan, which stands for Hand of Stone. Luckily, Pereira's first set foot in the gym when he was 21 years old and made the decision to finally change his life. The 25-year-old talent was given the opportunity to compete against Jason Wilness, the current king of the It's Showtime League, who would go on to defeat Adesanya in the future. Kickboxing career. On March 8, 2014, in Croatia, he competed in and won the middleweight contender tournament that was part of the Glory 14. In the semifinals, he knocked out Dustin Jacoby in the first round, and in the final, he defeated Sahak Parparian with a majority decision. During the broadcast of Glory 15, Istanbul, it was revealed that Pereira would be one of 8 fighters competing in the middleweight tournament that would be held at Glory 17, Los Angeles. Last man standing on June 21, 2014 in Inglewood, California, in the United States of America. In the quarterfinals of the competition, he was eliminated after suffering a defeat at the hands of an eventual winner, Artem Levin, by unanimous decision. During WGP Kickboxing 25, he was supposed to engage in a rematch against Cesar Almeida for the opportunity to compete for the vacant WGP middleweight title. He prevailed over Almeida via the judge's decision. At WGP KB 40, he successfully defended his WGP kickboxing title by knocking out Macon Silva in the second round. Pereira had a run of 4 wins and 1 loss in the next 5 bouts, with his only defeat coming at the hands of pound-for-pound great Artur Kashenko. During this run, Pereira won some of his most notable matches, including 2 victories over future UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. The first victory was a unanimous decision, and the second was a knockout victory via a counter left hook. At Glory 46 China, Pereira defeated Simon Marcus by unanimous decision, thereby claiming the middleweight championship for Glory. Glory Middleweight Championship. At the Glory 40 and Glory 49 Superfight Series, as well as in 2018 in New York Madison Square Garden at the Glory 55 for the middleweight title match, where Belgaroui had received an over-right hand knockout at 2 minutes 29 seconds of round 1. Pereira faced Belgaroui. For Pereira, it was the 28th victory for his professional career and the 6th victory inside the Glory ring. Pereira announced in November 2018 that he planned to pursue a career in mixed martial arts once his contract with Glory expired in April 2019. In the end, re-signed with Glory with the understanding that he would be allowed to compete in mixed martial arts as well. Pereira moved to fight Abena for the interim Glory Light Heavyweight Championship at Glory 68. The fight came about after Pereira successfully defended his Glory middleweight title against Belgaroui, Simon Marcus, and Jason Wilness over the course of 4 consecutive fights. Pereira was the first fighter in Glory history to become a double champion after he knocked out his opponent in the 3rd round of their fight. Following the victory in the Light Heavyweight Championship, Pereira made his decision to defend his middleweight title against Pereira on the evening of December 21, 2019 during the Glory Collision 2 event. He had a significant advantage throughout the first round, and he ended it by knocking his opponent out to win the fight.
You don't see it as much.
Glory Light Heavyweight Championship. Alex Pereira versus Artem Vahitov. At the event known as Glory 77, it was planned for Pereira to compete against Vahitov for the Glory Light Heavyweight title. As a result of the victory, Pereira became the first fighter in the history of Glory to simultaneously hold 2 belts at the same time. The fight was decided by a split decision. After some time, the middleweight title was taken away from Pereira. In his first attempt to defend his title, Pereira faced Artem Vahitov once again at Glory 78 Rotterdam. The judge's decision was unanimous, and he was defeated in the rematch. As a result of Pereira's repeating clinching in round 4, the referee deducted 1 point from his score. This was widely regarded as an unfair decision on the part of the official. Alex Pereira versus Quemelo Tony. After a successful career in kickboxing, Pereira made the switch to mixed martial arts in 2015 at an event called Jungle Fight 82. There he competed against Quemelo Tony, but was ultimately beaten by Otoni through the submission technique. Alex Pereira versus Marcelo Cruz and Silveira. After that, he went on to compete at Jungle Fight, where he went to win 2 consecutive matches. The first one being a knockout victory over Marcelo Cruz, and the second being a technical knockout victory over Marcus Silveira. Both of these victories came via knockout. Alex Pereira versus Diego Henrique da Silva. Pereira announced that he had signed a contract to compete against Silva on the 10th of August 2018 in the Brazilian edition of Dana White's Contender Series. The fight will take place in Salvador, Brazil. Despite this, there was never a bout between the two of them, as Glory did not allow Pereira to compete in the match. Alex signed with Legacy Fighting Alliance and debuted with Thomas Powell. It was reported on October 22, 2020 that Pereira had signed a contract with Legacy Fighting Alliance, and on November 20, 2020, he competed in his first fight for Legacy Fighting Alliance, which was against Thomas Powell. Pereira's opponent was Thomas Powell on October 22, 2020. He made his debut in the realm of promotional activities. He earned the victory by defeating his opponent in the first round with a knockout blow. Ultimate Fighting Championship. Alex Pereira versus Andreas Michailidis. Pereira signed a contract to compete for the UFC on September 3, 2021 at UFC 268, which took place on November 6, 2021. He made his debut in the promotion against Andreas Michailidis. In the second round, he scored a knockout victory that was ruled a technical knockout. He was given the award for Performance of the Night as a result of this victory. Alex Pereira versus Bruno Silva. At UFC Fight Night 203, which took place on March 12, 2022, Pereira fought Bruno Silva. Pereira outpunched Silva throughout all 3 rounds, and the judges all gave their approval for him to win by unanimous decision. Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland. At UFC 277 on July 30, 2022, it was planned that Pereira would compete against Sean Strickland. Despite this, the promotion has decided to reschedule the fight for UFC 276, which will take place on July 2, 2022. After knocking out Strickland in the first round, Pereira was declared the winner of the fight. As a result of his victory, he was presented with the Performance of the Night award as well as the Crypto.com Fan Bonus of the Night 3rd place award, for which he received US $10,000 in Bitcoin payment. UFC Middleweight Championship. Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. At UFC 281, which took place on November 12, 2022, Pereira competed against Adesanya for the UFC Middleweight Championship. In the 5th round, he scored a technical knockout victory, which allowed him to claim victory. Because of this victory, he was given the award for Performance of the Night. Just a few years ago, an outstanding kickboxer entered the UFC and climbed to the top of the mountain. Soon, an even more accomplished striker will follow in his footsteps, and we'll get to see a unique confrontation that spans 2 different combat sports when they meet face-to-face for the 3rd time. Alex Pereira has left his mark on the history of kickboxing, and he is now prepared to dominate new battlegrounds outside the United States. What do you think of the video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.